Hello, I'm Dr. Bolanle, your host on the BrightMindsMD and your mental health podcast. Here, we discuss topics designed to explore the full spectrum of mental well-being. You'll hear from experts and listen to personal experiences that inspire and inform. So, whether you're seeking insights, solutions, or just a dose of motivation, this podcast is your perfect companion. Hit that subscribe button and join us on this incredible journey to mental well-being. Your whole health starts with your whole mind. Let's get started. All right, welcome everyone who's tuning in at whatever time of the day today. It is me again, Dr. Bolanle Akinrambi, psychiatrist and founder at BrightMindsMD, service in New Jersey and New York, where we help people with depression, anxiety, and other challenges feel better and live better using fewer medications and wellness practices. So speaking of wellness practices, I am excited to introduce you today to my guest, who is also a physician and a dancer, Dr. Piya Suryadevara, who is a family medicine physician as well as a dancer. So welcome today, Dr. Piya. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. And so today we will be talking about dance as medicine. And Dr. Piya has a special brand of dance that you may not have heard of before today called Zumbangra. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I will let Dr. Piya tell us about that in a little bit, but why are we talking about dance, right? This is a health and wellness, mental health and wellness discussion usually, and we're talking about dance today because as part of activities that help us feel better, movement is a huge part of it. It helps feel overall better, but it is also a tool that can be used in the improvement of mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. So that's why we're talking about dance as a form of movement. So getting right into it with Dr. Piya, what is Zumbangra? Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so Zumbangra is a combination dance form that the name just kind of came to me one day. I've taken Zumba classes before. As we know, that's, that the Latino background with the dancing and all different kinds of, fun music. And Bhangra separately is a dance form from India, from North India, the state of Punjab. It is, you might have heard it, it's mixed into different songs, even on the radio nowadays. It's fast-paced, it's high energy, lots of beats, and the dance form includes squats and jumps and kicks. And so that kind of music is a dance form for years and years and years, of course, in India. And so I have practiced that dance through school, and I was on the Bhangra team in medical school and things like that. And so I really, really have a passion for that dance form. And after taking some Zumba classes at my gym and my own experience with all different kinds of Indian and actually American classical dancing, this name kind of came to me. I was like, okay, it kind of flows, the Zumba, Bhangra part of it. And then I was like, we can mix all these dances together so we can cater to all different audiences. And that's where it kind of was born in a way. And I looked it up, I looked into it, and it does look like maybe in the UK, it's been used before and things like that, like the name, I mean.
So the name, okay.
Yeah, so I can't say that, after it came to me during the drive, I looked it up. I was like, is this already a thing? And I did see in the UK, there's some videos and things like that. But then I just started creating. I started playing some music, and I really love remix songs, again, to cater to all different audiences, and honestly to cater to myself, because I was born in the United States. My parents are obviously from India, and my cultures have always been so strong in both American and Indian culture. So it's just like it's like me as the mirror. My dances are a mirror image of me. And so it's going to be Bhangra and Bollywood, which is like India's music industry, which those songs are, thousands and thousands and thousands of great songs there. And then hip hop, rap, or like R&B, pop, reggaeton, Latino music, all of it. So a lot of different combinations and different type of steps. I mentioned that I have some American classical training as well. So I started at a very young age, probably like 4 years old.
Oh, you've always been a dancer.
Dancing has been such a staple in my life, and it's always been like classes and kind of structured dance, and even into medical school because I was on the Bhangra team. During residency and for years in between, I would dance, but it would be not as structured. It would be like at a wedding, and then, or like maybe choreograph a quick group dance for people for like an event. And things like that. So it wasn't consistent. So bringing this back into my life has brought me so much joy at this consistent level, and with the discipline that I remember from childhood, that I'm just enjoying so much sharing this with so many different people. And so that in itself has become so good for my mental well-being, and
And you are teaching these classes, right? I thought that was pretty exciting, a physician who teaches dance, because sometimes, when you go on these interwebs, people think that all physicians do is study books, see patients, study more books, and quite boring. I'm a dancer myself, and dance excites me. So I was pretty excited to hear, to hear about you and see your work, learn about a physician who's teaching dance, teaching an actual tool that helps people, feel better, and live better.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you're right. I mean, I think sometimes with our job, we're just like, oh, this is what you do. And then you don't do anything, but these hobbies and things like that, especially like I have 2 young kids, and just keeping part of yourself with you always, throughout life. And I, like you said, I speak with my patients about exercise, and I speak with my patients about movement. I hadn't in the past really brought up dance, but then, now I will. And I always have like kind of encouraged, I believe that people get quite overwhelmed when we discuss like exercise and things like that, because they think exercise means you have to give it so much time and so much dedication, and it has to be every day. And I just simply don't have time for that. But one of my favorite tools, and I've also like talked about with my friends about this, and it has worked, is just saying, give it 5 minutes. Literally start with 5 minutes, because you know what? 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes, right? And so if you want to even do like one of my dances and that's it, and then a week later you do 2 dances, and you slowly build yourself without having that pressure, because everybody can find 5 minutes. I agree that not everybody can find an hour to go to a gym and, do all this, but life is very busy and very stressful. And so I acknowledge that fully, but that 5 minutes, we can do it, right? And so that the endorphins and the joy that you might feel after that keeps you addicted. Not like, not to use that word, but that keeps you
coming back. That's right. Interesting that you mentioned that, right? That's so true. When we tell people about exercise, they think they have to go to the gym and lift heavy weights.
Yes.
And not everybody has access to a gym or can afford it all the time. I'm a mom myself. I have little kids, and all of my exercising now is done at home. So what I've been doing is actually calling it, as much as I can remember, movement. Just move, because ultimately that's what it is: consistent, sustained movement. And like you said, you can find something to do in 5 minutes. Also, not everyone enjoys the boredom or rote of what we typically think of as traditional exercises, but many people enjoy dance. And so looking at a fusion form of dance like Zumangra, like you're talking about, which incorporates dances from many cultures into Bhangra. It's fun, it's exciting, it's something you can do for 5 minutes for most people. It's something that you can do with kids. I say now that most of my movement or exercise, like my 3-year-old wants to be a part of it, I include him, and that's fun. You'll be moving, but you'll be playing, and your heart rate will go up. If for most things, if you're keeping the pace, you're off the couch. It's just such a great way to get people to move.
Yeah, absolutely. And music is always going to be something that, it can be emotional, nostalgic, and it's going to keep you happy, right? No, I don't think any person can say they don't like music. They can like specific kinds of music, but right. Music is something that just keeps the world going. So, and such a great way to like communicate and things like that. So yeah, so it's been going well. I even have, like I was saying, I have some Indian classical training, and then I have American classical training. Around like fourth grade, I switched over all the way until I graduated high school. So it was like ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, like those combination classes. And so I did that. And then in college, I was on the Indian dance team. And then again, like I said, in medical school, I was on the Bhangra team. And so I think that combination of all different dances definitely highlights in my dances, because sometimes it's a little bit like, whoa, where'd that like hip hop move come from, or where'd that, but the songs and the movements, they definitely, I think, are very nostalgic for people in the audience, especially like me. I grew up in the 90s, 2000, early 2000s, so I get all those songs, the Biggie songs and all of those things to just get it right. Yep.
So how many times a week are you teaching this? You're teaching this in person, right? Or are you teaching this remotely? Are you on YouTube? How are you sharing this dance and music with people?
So I am at Cranford. I'm in person at Cranford Strength and Fitness Center on Sundays. That's once a week. And that same class is virtual. And currently I'm also working through a dance academy, Shahna's Dance Academy. She's based out of Jersey City, but she also has sites like all over. She goes to Millburn and Edgewater and Hoboken. And so I'm there on Wednesday evenings. And that one also we do for performances. We do for workout, but we do for performances on stage. Not everybody has to perform, but that's like, part of it. It's like 50-50.
Like if people are interested, they can go on and be part of the performance team and do performances as well, taking it to the next level.
Wow. The show, or like local community events and things like that, which I'm very passionate about, because that's what I've been doing. I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So, and back then, there was an Indian community, but it definitely wasn't like it is today. Indian stuff was not mainstream. And, I was probably I actually was the only Indian person in my middle school and elementary school. And so, back then it was different. I had like two different communities. I didn't really mix them. Now I see my kids are going to school and everything is just so mixed, So it was like a passion of mine, but it was like separate. That was different. And now to see all of these merging, and so back then we would try to go to the multicultural events and things like that. We still did it. It just wasn't as open as it is this day and age.
It's more open, more integrated, more mainstream.
And people just know. Like if you say Bollywood nowadays, like people kind of just know.
They know what that is.
Bollywood back then, maybe people wouldn't necessarily know what you're talking about. So, and the songs now, people are mixing with like Indian songs on the radio and stuff like that. So so the multicultural events that they do them, but my class that I do in Cranford, I really like to keep it workout based. It's 45 minutes. I would say it's moderate to high intensity, because I do incorporate like a lot of core endurance with like burpees and planks.
Wow.
And, I try to. I mean, as much as possible, but then keep the dance going. Like you'll do like 9 burpees and then you get back into the dance. So, and I really want to keep it that way.
If someone wants to pull out of that, though, like, we were saying, like, maybe someone's not at your class, the full 45-minute core workout, but if they want to pull, a 5-minute routine out of that, do you have some way for them to do that, or what would you usually recommend?
For that, if they want to do like a 5-minute, I would say like do two of my dances. Like 2 of my dances, I can, kind of modify which ones, because then maybe it's dancey, but then also has some of that exercise in it.
Involved.
The dance is obviously exercise as well, of course, and movement, but just a little bit of the core endurance. I would say two of the dances, and then you're good. Because so I will say, even during my class, you don't need any dance background, really. People have said, I have 2 left feet, but then they still enjoy it. Why? Because 2 left feet loves to dance too, right?
Right, as long as you're moving.
You don't need, so it is a fast pace, but I do repeat a lot of the dances, meaning like week to week, because I want to keep it, because when I took my Zumba classes, I noticed that my first day, I was like, am I not understanding how do they know these moves? I was like, what's happening here? This is like a secret society. And so then I realized that, okay, yes, you do repeat the dances. It's not because it doesn't get boring. It's actually better, because once you know the moves and what's coming, you don't have to chase the step, you do it properly. So then you're actually getting this, you're doing the squat all the way down instead of chasing it halfway and then popping back up and like trying to, be and try to keep up with me. So I do repeat, but then I pop in with like new ones just to keep it fresh here and there, like short ones. But if like during the burpees, I do see that some people don't really feel comfortable doing burpees or planks and things, but then you do jumping jacks. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's baseline is different. Everybody's medical conditions are different. Like, you have to be fair to our bodies, and we have to listen to our bodies when we're doing any kind of exercise. So then do jumping jacks. All I ask is that keep moving, even if it's a little bit of this. Just keep moving, keep the heart going, because as you know, the American Heart Association does recommend, 30 minutes, I think 5 times a week, like 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week.
That's a great way to get it.
It's an excellent way to get it. So, yeah.
Speaking of benefits, say that again?
Because it's fun, right? Fun. People really leave the class feeling like it's fun because of that, the music and the energy of the room. So
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us about this form of dance and music that gets us to move in a really enjoyable, very, very exciting way that can be enjoyed really by different ages. I imagine that children can enjoy this, adults can, and elderly can. And speaking of benefits, right, tying into medical, because we're medical, we always bring it back there. What are some, you've mentioned about the heart benefits. I would like to mention some of the mental health benefits as well, right? We know that movements and physical activity can help us reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. It can help us with enhancing our self-esteem and self-confidence. It can be a way to stress reduce, right? Imagine, I love dancing myself. I know that anytime I'm like at events and participating in dance, you feel good, you feel not stressed, at least after that. So it's a good form of stress reduction. It can also improve our social connections, right? Usually when we're dancing, if we're not dancing by ourselves, we meet people, we can start conversations. People who are shy, usually if you're meeting someone on the dance floor, it's a pretty easy way to connect with other people.
Absolutely. It's just fun.
It is just fun in so many ways. And so I highly recommend dance, movements, and Bhangra, for anyone who's in Cranford. I haven't actually checked out the classes myself, but I got to come attend one of your classes because I love dances and new dances. I grew up in Bollywood. Bollywood was big when I was growing up in Nigeria. So we would butcher the words and words and stuff, but we still get the movement and the sound. So it's pretty exciting. I got to come check it out.
Yeah.
Dr. Piya, is there anything you would like to leave, any words for anyone who's listening or curious, or something you feel like if someone's taking something away from our meeting today or this conversation, what would you like them to walk away with?
So yeah, I think we touched upon a lot of it, but I just to summarize, life is hard, right? Life is hard. I really would say that even after COVID, life has somehow gotten much harder. Life is different. The world is a little different. And so we are so busy. We are people who have full-time jobs, all the stuff to do at home, and then young kids. So it's so important to still take care of ourselves. We've watched in previous generations, moms will just kind of become like, okay, I'm a mom now, that's it. That's all I am, and I have to be that. And that's lovely, that's wonderful, but we can't lose part of ourselves, right? So we have to keep that. And you know what? The kids actually would love to see. My kids are so cute. When I leave for my dance, they're all like saying bye. They're like, you're going to your dance class, you're going to your dance class. They get to watch you throughout your entire life journey, enjoy your hobbies, take care of your well-being, take care of your mental and physical well-being. And so you're setting an example. I know that it's not always easy to find childcare and things like that. So I will point out Cranford Strength and Fitness Gym has a beautiful childcare room.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible. It's a huge room. It has every toy you can imagine. I've dropped my kids there so I can vouch for it. Somebody will sit in there when your kids are in there. It is $5 for one kid and $3 for any subsequent kid. It is affordable, I will say, from a childcare standpoint,
right?
Because we know how expensive childcare is. So in that way, that gym is like perfect for my classes, because I do have a lot of moms with young kids. And so yeah, always I'm trying to promote for people to come out and keep moving and feel good and feel energized. And it is, like we said, it's good for your mental health too. Music is always good for your mental health. And I've gotten a couple messages that are just so heartwarming. One of them is a woman who's She's 53 now, and she danced in her younger years, and she remembers all of those stories. And then 29, I think she said, she got married and then had 3 kids back to back. And then she just kind of like lost that in its own way. And she thanked me for like helping her teach her body how to move in that way again. It was so meaningful reading that, that it's hard to even put into words, but that's the kind of effect that it can have. And everybody can move a little bit.
That is true. We all can move.
Anybody can move. And so it's, some of my classes, they might feel like a little bit fast paced. I can slow it down. I can break it down. I can work with you individually to help you break down the steps. I try to do that as well. I just want to spread this joy through Zoom Bhangra and also promote my medical side of things, all of those things that you get, all of those benefits, the physical and mental well-being that I've learned in my studies, and then the actual practice of dance that I've learned in my hobbies. And I've put them together, and I just feel very wholesome with trying to promote this now. And it's been very exciting for me, and the feedback has been really wonderful, and obviously that's what keeps you going. So yeah, I thank the community that's already started doing it, and I would urge you to just, even if you message me and let me know that, I'm interested in this, how would I go about it? Try it out, see what you think. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Speaking of reaching out to you, where can people find you if they wanted to learn more, see some of your routines, or, connect with you in some way? How can people reach you?
Perfect. So my Instagram handle is dr.bhangra. So it's DOCTOR period, and then Bhangra without the ZUM. So it's just BHANGRA. Okay, Dr. Bhangra. And then I have an email address, which is Zoombhangra, which is on the down there, the name, on my screen, zoombhangra@gmail.com.
Easy. All right. And we'll try to link that at the bottom of this when we post this as well, so that people can reach out to you, learn more, connect, and do this beautiful practice, this dance. And I have to come check it out. I'm local enough to come check it out.
Yes, I would love that, Dr. Bolanle.
I will. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much, Dr. Piya, for sharing with us today about dance as movement and all the wonderful benefits it has for us. Thank you for everyone listening as well for taking the time to spend time with us today. Again, it is Dr. Bolanle Akinrambi, psychiatrist and founder of BrightMindsMD, serving New Jersey and New York virtually to help people with depression, anxiety, and many other ailments feel better using fewer medications and wellness practices, one of which is dance, as we've talked about today. Thank you so much, and that will be all. Have a wonderful afternoon and morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share this with a friend or two. Until next time, it's Dr. Bolanle on the Bright Minds MD and Your Mental Health podcast. Ciao.